You know, people have a misconception about training their dog, and the misconception is that they have to do it a long time. Like, I'll tell you one thing, 5 minutes of the dog functioning good is better than 15 minutes or 45 minutes of it like not functioning good at all. Remember, dog training is a lot of muscle memory. So, like when a puppy comes here, man, I might train it for 2 or 3 seconds at first. It's real quick. Say you have a retrieving dog, man, you better getting like one good retrieve than like 15 and the last 5 are shit. You don't want to do that. You want to be consistent. You want to think about the dog's muscle memory. That's why separation anxiety is a bitch, because once your dog starts doing it, the owner can't get it to stop, and then they're like in this, they're held captive by the dog. That's the best description that I could have of separation anxiety. That's the way people feel. Hang on, I'm going to raise this up just a tad. No! It's Tonka the prick. No. I love him, but he's a dick. He needs some oil. I do mean this. I'm not. It's just a fact. People don't get dogs, and they look at them as morphed little human beings, and they're not. He's non-human. I love the shit out of that idiot, but he's non-human. You know, if he was a human, I wouldn't be calling him an idiot. That's for sure. That kind of shit. Isn't you don't say that to a human. You don't say you're an idiot. But with a dog, it doesn't matter. They don't understand language. I did a demonstration yesterday using him. Like, it's a kennel command. Like, I could say kennel, right? Or I could just point, or I could even say cheddar cheese, or milk, or moon. The dog functions. I've done this, like, I'll see, like, owners, like the dog goes to a board and train. I'm doing lessons with the owners, and the owners are trying to emulate me, which is good. You want them to clone into me as much as possible. But sometimes the owners are talking to the dog using human language, and when you see me using English with a dog, that's not what I'm doing. It's very different. So the dog starts getting confused with them. So you should, as the owner, you should keep your command words the same, and you should drop words too. Words get dropped. You want to say less. Less is more. I'm 58 years old, man. I've been doing this forever. I can sneeze and a dog will function for me. That's just how it is, man. You think you went to ABC food training school and you're going to be at my level. You're not, okay? You're not. That, by the way, that food training is nonsense. It's nonsense. It just screws up your dog, conditions them to be excited, makes you look like a resource. You don't get a compliant dog. It's terrible for their, physiologically, it's terrible for the dog. Now, you can train your dog once it's trained. You can work your dog for 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. You can work your dog going out the door, making it sit. Everybody should be doing that. Make the dog sit before it exits the door, because the door is a point of positive reinforcement. So you want the dog to be compliant going out the door. So I'm going to work all the dogs. I'm going to spend about 5 minutes on each dog just doing this. This is kennel command. That way they associate the kennel with something positive. You want that. You want the dog to associate the kennel with something positive. That's how you keep the dog from getting separation anxiety. And if your dog does have separation anxiety, You need the kennel to combat that and keep it in remission. Everybody should be using a kennel. Don't leave the house with your dog, frantic, watching you leave and shit. Should be in a kennel. It's 4th of July. Put the dog in the kennel. That's the one day that like more dogs go to the emergency room than any other day. Dude, I think dog shows are fine. If somebody wants to do that, it's fine. The term toy breed, who cares, man? It's a small dog. It's also a teacup, but that doesn't mean that it's a teacup, does it? And I've seen some toy breeds that look like little wind-up dogs, so I know what they're saying. There ain't nothing more ridiculous than a Maltese puppy. Oh my God. They look like the carnival dog. Like you gotta look for the key. But the point is that carnival looking dog that looks like a toy needs training. They all need training. That's the mistake that people make with small dogs. They don't get them trained. I've had fucking Chippy out here doing fucking dummy launcher retrieves. Marty, Lola, Luna. I got a whole list of tiny dogs that can do scent work, dummy launcher retrieves. The only difference is you need a smaller dummy. That's it. They can do everything a big dog can do. My dog is next to me. Yeah, well, that's not so good if your dog is next to you 24/7 because you're not training the dog to be away from you. So at some point, the dog has to be away from you. You have to go to the doctor, whatever. So that's the way you give your dog separation anxiety because you haven't trained the dog to be by itself. They're hardwired to go with the pack, right? So you need to train it that it needs to stay at home. I think that's great. You're spending time with your dog, but man, really, make sure that it's cool in the crate. No, sit. Make sure it's cool in the crate so if you do have to go somewhere, sounds like you don't use the crate. 24/7, I don't know. That sounds like you have a dog with separation anxiety. Sometimes I gotta get away from the dog. I mean, that's a fact. We live in a bus. What's that have to do with anything? What's that have to do with anything? There's the front of the bus and the back of the bus. You could have a crate. It's a Jack Russell. You telling me you can't have a crate that a Jack Russell? People make excuses. It's just BS, man. Because it's around you 24/7 doesn't mean that the dog is doing well. I'm just saying, man. We don't know your dog. And I would guess it's not because we have 4 to 6 million dogs. I'm not saying this is you, but we have 4 to 6 million dogs that get put down every year in shelters. So I don't believe anybody's dog is doing good until I see it. That's the truth. Ah, that was good. I don't know if this will work. Yeah, it will. No, it won't. Yeah, it will, sort of. Sure. Tonka, here. Kennel? Here? Good. Kennel. Good. Kennel? 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 Sit. Down. Sit. Kennel. See. Kennel. I'm using the word kennel. I'm using the word kennel for the place target, the tire. Right? Because it's not, it doesn't really mean the same thing. It doesn't mean the same thing to a dog. So kennel could be, you put the dog in the corner of a room. You better get your ass back in there, brother. Go, kennel. Sit. You could be, say kennel, and just it would be like a placemat, like a doormat. on your floor. That's kennel. Kennel just means go over there and stay there. Go there. So kennel to us, like the language means like a crate. But like I said, like I could say, I could just go here, here, cheddar, milk, sit. Do you understand? They don't have language. They understand tone. They understand tone. They do not understand language. I could say whatever. I could say, Peter, Peter, Yankee call, turkey cheese. Good boy, sit. It's not, dog's not like you, okay? He doesn't understand his name is Tonka. Tonka's used to release him, and it's on the, at the vet's office. That's it. That's all it's used for. Like if I'm working 2 dogs, right, named Tonka, they'd just be confused. And you use the name to release the dog, because if you're doing retrieves with 2 dogs, you can't say fetch. They'll both go after it. You understand what I'm saying? So stop thinking that your dog is like you. It's a mammal, yes. It's a mammal. We're all related by common ancestry. We're related to the trees, man. We're related to everything on this planet. But the differences outweigh the similarities in mammals. We're very unique. You can't even like put us in the same, it's like the chimp. I mean, come on. They're violent like us, but they're, in a way, like a dog is better than a chimp, because a chimp you can't give direction to. There's been studies done. Like you can give a dog direction, you can't give a chimp direction. Like you could say to the chimp, like, it's underneath that box. The grape is under, they don't give a shit. They're not really like us, okay? So stop anthropomorphizing animals. It's unfair. Like if you treat your dog like a morphed little human, it's unfair to the dog. You end up with a dog that's like a mess, aggressive, leash aggressive. Don't let the dog sleep in your bed. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. You're treating a dog like a human. It's not a human. It confuses the status of the dog. It starts seeing itself as an equal. It is not an equal, okay? It lives in a human society. We have all these dogs dying because of nonsense put out over the airways. You have Victoria Stilwell and Cesar Millan. They're just ridiculous nonsense, okay? Victoria Stilwell, being purely positive is just nonsense. It's a subspecies of the wolf. You have to tell it no at some point. So you better learn how to do it. Why would you go to somebody that's purely positive? Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if you want your dog to function and it to be happy, listen, the excited dog jumping around wagging its tail isn't necessarily, it's excited. A dog can be calm and happy. Giving treats is absurd. Like, I talk about this all the time. It's like, why are you giving your dog treats? Don't you feed your dog daily? Why are you giving treats? Every time you do that, you condition the dog to be a dick, okay? And you look like a resource. Why would it need treats? Why does your cat need treats? Aren't you feeding it a proper diet? Why do you do that? A wolf, this is true, a wolf will go up to 2 weeks without making a kill. 2 weeks! Why do you think your domestic dog needs a treat 3 hours after it ate? Stop believing everything you hear. Don't believe that they're not an obligated carnivore either. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. That's the pet food companies telling you garbage. Here? No, here. Kennel. Tonka, kennel. 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 No, kennel. Here. Good boy. Kennel. Good boy. Kennel. Here, kennel. Pull ass, dude. Kennel. There you go, kennel. Real quick. Come on. Kennel. Tonka, kennel. No. Get it. Hey, you got. Oh, he's got a dump. Tonka, you gotta finish this out because you're old. You do it right, kennel. Okay, kennel one more time. Okay, go. Hurry, hurry. Hurry, hurry. Go potty. He's done. So he had to go to the he has to go to the bathroom. So that's fine, but I wasn't gonna let him stop and do that until he finished out properly. You want to end on a high note. You want to end when the dog is being functioning good. At times when you first start training the dog, it's going to be difficult. That's why I keep those sessions short. Try and get some success and stop. If you're noticing that the dog isn't doing real good, maybe you're going too fast. Maybe the dog needs to go to the bathroom. Let me go get another dog. Let's start knocking this shit out. Tonka the truck. Go on, hurry, hurry. You better go, man, because I got to deal with the dogs this week. Hang on, I got to go over here and take a pee, Tom. Tonka the truck. Tonky. Tonky. Little Tom. Let's go get another dog. Gussie Bear. Did you go? Get over here, dude. Gussington. Come over here. It's Gus. It's a friend of mine's dog that he said he had some health issues. So he's been here for a long time. I'm assuming Gus is staying, which is fine. He's cool. Gus, kennel. Gus, here. No, here. Come on, let's go, dude. There you go. Good boy. Gus, kennel. Gus, sit. No, sit, dude. Ah, caught you. Okay, here. Gus, you gotta go to the bathroom. Hurry, hurry. Go potty. Let him go. That's Gus. Gus Gussington. Go on, go to the bathroom, dude. There's this YouTuber, Mr. Vlogger. I used to be a Vlogger Puppet. I didn't realize, man, that guy has been on YouTube since 2005. Just go like his channel, Mr. Vlogger. He makes these crazy looking puppets. I've subscribed to his channel for like the last 4 years, something like that. And he only has 4,000 subs. He should have way more than that. He does live streams. He does makes these puppets. He's a curmudgeon more than me. No, maybe not. We're probably about equal. He'll get rid of people on his. He'll get rid of the trolls real fast. So will I. I'm not gonna do it. You know, I'm sure I'd be farther along if I just put up with anything. But yeah, he's 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 makes these wacky puppets and shit. Like um he's interesting. He's an interesting guy. He's got he's opinionated for sure. Um Today I was doing a live stream pretty much like pop culture. It was live streaming somebody that was live streaming somebody that was live streaming. I didn't know who these people were he was talking about. I assumed that they were actors or well-known YouTubers or something. I don't know. But I mean, 2005? Like, I have a bad taste in my mouth about my 180,000 subs. He's like me, he just keeps going, you know? He's not quitting, that's for sure. So you got to give him some props on that. He's not a quitter. He's definitely not a quitter, and he does have something to say. So um, he has some dolls that are very interesting. Cleophas is into one of them. That's all I'm gonna say. Try and get a shot of the doll I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. Here. Sit. Let's go. Kennel. You better speed it up, son. Here. Come on, Gus. Let's go. There you go. Good boy. Gus, kennel. There you go. Good boy. Come on, fat boy. Hurry up. Gus, here. There you go. Move. Kennel. Ah, come on. Quicker than that, Gus. Let's go. Come on. Here. Gus, kennel. No, kennel. Here. Try and speed him up. Low-level stimulation. Here. Gus, kennel. No, kennel. There you go. Here. There you go. That's quicker. Come on, fat boy. Move. Kennel. Good. Gus, here. Come on, buddy. Move. Burn some of that fat off. I'm going, Caine. Kennel. Good boy. Good boy. Gus, sit. Down. No, down. Down, fat boy. No, down. I hear it, so what? Down. There's a car out there growling, bothering him. Gus, no. Down, man. No. I'm not doing this shit, dude. Down. No, down, man. I'm getting fucking pissed. Down. I'm not doing this, dude. Down. No, down. All the way, dude. Down. No, down. Move it. Here. Let's go. Gus, kennel. Down. Good. Here. Gus, kennel. No. Kennel. Gus, here. Gus, kennel. Down. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Gussie. Gussie, here. Good boy. Come here. Fatty. Okay, kennel. Good boy. Come here, Fatty. There you go. Gus, kennel. Gus. 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 Sit. Down. Gus. You're doing good, dude. Gus. Down. Good boy. Hey! Dude, kennel, get in there, dude. Go, kennel. Down. Gus needs work. I stopped sort of, dealing with Gus when Tracer was here. I wasn't dealing with him as much. I mean, he was always doing some stuff, but he's a lab, and he's a dominant, sort of a douche, Got to stay on these labs. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna train him to do waterfowl hunting. I don't know. Looks like he's staying. Maybe I'll have him do some water retrieving and see how he is at it. Definitely in the spring, we'll have him working in water. Why the spring? Because I'm a pussy and it's cold. It's the truth. Hear that sound? Motorcycles, cars, stuff like that. It can sound like a growl to a dog. It really distracted him out there. Skateboards. You know your dog that responds to skateboards? Don't let it respond to skateboards, but, the skateboard, it sounds like a growl to the dog. Garden is looking good. It looks like crap, Nixie. I mean, seriously. Looks like crap, man. The barn's looking better, that's for sure. It is, it's looking better. Let me go get another dog. Let me cast him a couple more times. Gus, here. Gus. Gus, here. Come on, Gus, here. Good boy, dude. Gus, kennel. Gus, heel. Go, heel. Little Gus. Oh, heel. Get back here. Gus. No. Billy, come here. Go on. Put gloves on. Come on, Billy. Billy, get up there. Kennel. Billy, here. Kennel. Here. Kennel. Here. Kennel. No, kennel. Here. Kennel. Sit. No, sit. Here. Sit. Kennel. Sit. Down. Here. Kennel. No. Kennel. You gotta go to the bathroom? Hurry, hurry. Somebody's bad. I gotta go deal with them. Let's find out who it is. That sounds like one of the pits. Let me go find out. I'll be right back. Hey, come back here. No, heel. Come on. No. Billy, up. No, not there. Up. Sit. Billy. Kennel. 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 Kennel reverse sneeze, boy. Okay, here, hairball man. Now, get up there all the way. You're cheating. Kennel. Here. Here. Kennel. Kennel. No, kennel. Kennel. Here, kennel. No. Get your ass over here. Kennel. Sit. Down. No, down. Sit. No, sit. Down. Sit. No. No, sit. Good boy. Here. Kennel. Sit. Here. Get your ass up there, man. You're getting in trouble. Get up there. Sit. Kennel. No, kennel. Billy, hurry, hurry. Go potty. Hurry, hurry means you can go sniff around. Without the hurry, hurry command, your dog won't understand heel. Sort of nice out. Sort of like it better today than yesterday because I know I had to wear a hat and gloves. Yesterday I was like, oh, I don't really need to do that. But today it's like, I feel fine like this. 50, you know, that's a little, I'm a wuss, man. I prefer the spring and summer. Yay! I'd take the bike for a ride, but I need to do stuff. I need to empty out more stuff in the barn. I need to put up some shelves to put some art on. I have stuff I need to do. I'm probably not gonna do that. I'll put a pawpaw tree right there. This spring, right there, right in the middle. Got one there, put one right there. Oh, there was one there and it died. Because I think Billy peed on it. Didn't you, Billy? He's a douche. That's what I think happened. I don't know. Pawpaw trees don't have too many problems with them if you grow them in this area. Like you don't need, you know, you don't need insecticide or anything. Hang on, I'll be right back. Is that one gonna flower this year? I don't think so. It should. That's a sunflower pawpaw. It should, but it's not going to. I mean, time-wise it should. It's just a little short. I can't wait for spring soon. How do you stop barking? I train them. If you're looking for a simple solution, you're not going to find one. If you don't train them, you can make matters worse. How old is the lab? Did you give him something? How did it start? Did you give him something when he was barking? Did you let him out of the crate? Is he crated? Do you crate the lab? Is he crated? How old is he? She, he. Billy, I'm gonna screech your little face off. It's like a little munchkin. Hey! Quit. Billy the hedge. It's a hedgehog. 1 year. Well, yeah. It's probably been doing it the whole time, huh? Right? It's been doing it the whole time. Did you train him with food? No, he's not crated. There you go. So you're not training your dog. You're giving your dog separation anxiety. You probably use food with him. What do you want me to do, dude? I do board and trains. What do you want? You don't even want to crate the dog. You don't even want to crate him. This is an example of a dog that's probably fine, but separation anxiety, and I don't know if he has separation anxiety, but you're not crating him. So, and he's a year old lab. Isn't he chewing the shit out of stuff? Isn't it? Isn't it just chewing shit up? Going into the trash? Is he in your house? Or you throw him in the yard? You want me to tell you what you want to hear? He does it for attention. You're ridiculous, and I feel sorry for your dog, okay? No, he doesn't have separation anxiety. He's in the house, running around, right? He doesn't chew on anything, and he's a year-old lab. You are a liar. You are a liar. I've had labs my whole life. I grew up with them. I've had them as adults. You're not telling the truth. He does it for attention. And you give it to him, right? You give him the attention, right? Good job. So you trained your dog to bark, and you can't get him to stop barking. Good job. Hey, Pedro, do you get on the ground and play with the dog? You know, you got the puppy, and do you get on the ground and play with the puppy? No, get down there. Come on. Are you playing with him? No crate with a lab. That poor dog. This is the kind of dog that ends up in a shelter, giving up. Dog's barking all the time. Neighbors complain. You know. Thank you, emerging leader. I mean, come on. You're not fooling me, dude. Oh yeah, your lab that's a year old and you don't crate it. You just let it run around the house. Doesn't get in the trash, doesn't chew on furniture. It's totally behaved. It just wants attention. Is that why it chews on shit too? Because it wants your attention when you're smacking it? Do you smack the dog? I bet this person loses its temper. I bet you lose your temper with the dog, don't you? I bet you do. But you don't want to trade it. You don't want to use a crate. Probably get the dog pet food. He barks at cars and people outside. No, yeah. So I bet the dog goes over to the window too and barks at the window. I'm done talking to you, dude. You don't want to crate the dog. You don't want to train the dog, but you want the dog to not bark. Okay. I won't even own a dog. Yeah, because it is. It's a huge responsibility. You would make a good dog owner at some point. You're being realistic. That's realistic. And when you do own a dog, you'll be smart enough to use a crate and train it. This person isn't even training the dog. Why? Because I know that they don't use a crate. I bet they've never put a leash on that dog in the house, ever. Ever. Right? You just think that the dog is supposed to, you love the dog, so it's supposed to do what you want it to do. And love is not enough for that Labrador. I've owned these dogs my whole life, man. I grew up with these dogs. He's food aggressive. You didn't answer my question. Hang on. How do you stop puppy biting your hand? He's food aggressive. You didn't answer my question. Do you get on the ground? Do you play with the dog? Do you get on the ground and play with the dog? He's food aggressive. What? How so? You said he's a puppy. How old is this puppy? It's food aggressive? How old is it? Answer my questions. No, you don't get on the ground. What kind of dog is it and how old is it? And how do you, what's it do that causes food aggression? What are you saying? Do you give it people food? Do you give it people food? Are you taking the bowl away and he gets aggressive? What? Do you have a leash on the dog? How's it get in your hand if you're not, it's biting your hand? How's it get in your hand if you're standing up and you have a leash on the dog? You're not answering my questions, so I think you're full of shit. That's what I think. Pitbull, 6 months old. And I'm sure do you crate it? You probably don't crate the dog. You clearly aren't using a leash. You don't, how's it chewing on your hand if you're standing upright and you have a leash on it? It's food aggressive? Really? What makes you think that? Like, how is it displaying food aggression? You have it in your hand and he's growling at you, or what? Explain it. Nixie's 100% right. It's so much work. What's up, Tox? Toxic Sheba. I've had pits as an adult my whole life. So, I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a leash on the dog? It's 6 months old and it's in the house and it's getting your hands, biting your hands? How is it doing that? How is it doing that? Are you thinking about it now? Am I making sense? If you had a leash on the dog, it couldn't do that. Why would we lock our dogs in a crate? Well, see, you are just moronic. Okay, you're moronic. This is a perfect example of somebody that doesn't understand dogs and will get rid of that dog as soon as there's enough problem to get rid of the dog. They'll blame it on the dog. I gave that dog everything. You gave that dog everything but training. You haven't used a crate with your lab and it's only a year old? Oh, you're a great owner. This is terrible. This is terrible when we see this. There's a lot of people that in this chat that know this. Oh, you really love the dog. You love the dog, but you couldn't give the dog what it needed, which was training, discipline. It's too much hassle for people to train a dog, right? They just want the dog and they want it to function properly. And then when it doesn't, it's expendable. That's why we have 4 to 6 million dying in shelters every year. Let me give you a statistic. This is the statistic. You ready? 49% of all puppies that are acquired are given up the first year, right? The first year. Getting a rash, type bumps along her sides. We realize it's not the food or anything outside in the backyard she's eating and rubbing. Why do you think that it's not the food? Huh? Why do you think that it's not the food? What is your dog eating? What is the pit eating? Because pits are notorious for having, allergies, especially regarding food. What kind of food does your pit eat? I mean, they are really notorious for having skin problems. That's a fact. What's your pit eating? What part of the country do you live in, too? What's your pit eat? I got a pit sitting right by me. Billy the Hedgehog. He does not have skin issues. What's your pit eat? Where are you? You're not going to answer my question, are you? I should go get a pit and work a pit. I have a pit. I'll go get baby and then I'll work the poodle doing this. Merlin the magician. See, they don't want to answer. That's just garbage. They're not. It can't be the food. Of course, it couldn't be the food, right? Why do you think that? See, people have this stuff in their head. Oh, we buy expensive food. You like Merlin? Yeah, Merlin's pretty bitchin'. How could that be? Did you take it to the vet? Yeah, they do, Nick, so you're right. Did you take it to the vet? No, because that costs money. So you're on somebody's, I was a vet tech, not a vet. So you're trying to get free info about a skin condition your dog has, right? Because you couldn't even respond. It couldn't be the food. Went through every single dog food brand, Pedigree, Blue Buffalo, Iams, literally everything. I'm located in southeastern Florida. Okay, so you have your dog on pet food, right? You went through all the shittiest brands there are, right? Pedigree, Blue Buffalo, Iams, literally. So let me tell you something. All those pet foods are terrible for your pet, okay? Why do you think that one brand that's using chicken what do you think? They're using different chicken or different? Did you use each pet food for 3 months? because that's what you have to do. You have to do 3-month stint of what the dog eats. But if your dog's on pet food, it's going to have issues with its skin, okay? Your dog should be on a raw diet. Be on a raw diet, man. It's a combination of environmental shit and what the dog is eating that causes the problem. Because we see this in pits during the winter, not as much of a problem, not as much of a problem as the summer. And then in the, they still might have problems in the winter, but if you get the dog on raw diet, but you're not going to do that. You probably have a ton of excuses, like everybody does. Oh, it's too expensive. No, it's not. It's cheaper than pet food. Oh, they put antibiotics and hormones in it. No, they don't. Go to Walmart. You can buy 10 pounds of leg quarters. You got to do some, you didn't try very hard. All you did was switch from one bad dog food from another, and you say, oh, it can't be the dog food. Let me tell you something about dog food, pit bull owner. It's chock full of things your dog doesn't eat. That's called filler. And filler is put in there. Do you know why? To make the pet food company make more money. It makes it more cost effective. Your dog doesn't eat corn. They don't eat corn. What's the best meat to feed a cat, raw? I don't, my cats eat bone-in chicken, beef with calcium. You have to give, if you're giving just meat, you have to add calcium, okay? But I use bone-in chicken for the dogs and the cats as a base. But pet food is terrible for your dog. It is. And you're talking about pedigree? The only one you didn't bring up is Purina. It's all bad, man. It's all bad. You can't put your pit would love, I guarantee would love raw diet. That's chicken leg quarters, okay? And that doesn't mean raw vegetables. If you're gonna give some raw vegetables, it's a very small amount, like a teaspoon of canned spinach. All right, teaspoon of rice. It's like a teaspoon of something at each meal. You could do that, but so you take your pit, you get them off the pet food totally, right? And then you use chicken for a period of 3 months and see if the dog's skin gets better. But you have to do 3 months. If the dog's skin doesn't get better, then you have to go to something else, like pork. So I would use pork loin. Now you could keep your dog on pet food if you want, but I don't recommend it. Pork loin's gonna get real expensive. I didn't know about the 3-month stint. The raw diet is valuable point. Thanks. They've been wondering for months. Yeah, okay, you get it? So you gotta do it for 3 months. You can't just switch the dog around and stick with one protein source for that period. If it's looking better, then, that's good. That's good, but stay away from the fucking pet food, man. Pet food is not good because of all the filler that's in it. And I'm telling you, pit bull, for sure, do not give pet food. Don't. Figure out a way, like if you're using, if the chicken doesn't work in a 3-month period, then go pay more and go to pork loin. But don't go to pork-based dog food. We do have a dog here that's allergic to chicken and is on a pork-based dog food, but dog's been on it. It's a poodle. It's not having the problems that pits are notorious for this. Notorious. Let me tell you something else. You are in an area that's warm, right? You have got to make sure, let me ask you this. Do you always have flea and tick protection on the dog? Because dogs have an allergy to fleas. They start dropping hair. Do you always use flea protection? Are you always using Frontline or a product like that and doing it religiously? Because that can make a dog bald in like no time. Hey, Billy. Come here, dickweed. Who cares? What about canned food? No, don't use canned food. It's pet food, dude. You're not getting it. No, we don't. We only spray them when we have them outside for, man, you're screwing up. Why are you using a spray? You're using a pyrethrin spray on your dogs when you take them outside. When there's products that have been around for 40 years that are safe for your dog, but you're spraying pyrethrins on your dog? I'm not a vet, but I would say, oh, your dog has flea allergy. Why aren't you using Frontline, man? What is this? You think you're helping the dog by not doing this? If your dog does get fleas and it licks one, it's gonna get tapeworm too. So then you have to give it tapeworm medication. Why are you doing that? It's a rookie mistake. Your dog, by the way, your dog that's in Florida, you better go get it checked for heartworm, because I bet you're not giving it heartworm medication either. It's gonna get heartworm. Do you know how they cure heartworm? They pump arsenic into your dog, dude. You're just spraying the dog? You're in Florida, man. You're in Florida. Mosquitoes all year round. Dogs that come up here from Florida, heartworm consistently. Shelters get them. Small dogs have them brought up here and they treat them for heartworm. It's Florida. Are you giving heartworm medication? You better get on this. You better take your dog to the vet. Stop looking for like something. You don't know what you're doing. I'm sorry. I'm telling you the truth. Do you give them monthly heartworm? They have one that you could give, I think, for 6 months now. So you would just take the dog in and, they give them an injection. But if you don't do this, man, your dog's going to... It's Florida. You're not in New York State. You have mosquitoes all year round. Ask your vet how many dogs they see with heartworm. That treatment for heartworm on your dog, it dilapidates the dog. It's not a good thing. They had to put an IV drip in your dog and it's got arsenic in it. Is that what you want to do? You're taking a ridiculous approach with your dog. That's what I'm saying. You're in Florida. There's mosquitoes all around. You're thinking that it can't be the pet food, the shitty pet food that you're giving. I use monthly. Oh, well, thank God for that. That's good. That's good. Do not drop that. Keep using that. Now, up the ante and start using a product for fleas. If you're using that, why aren't you using a product for fleas? Go get Frontline, whatever. But man, your dog be outside, it has a flea jump on it, that pit will just get like a welt on it. Seriously, I'm being truthful to you, man. You got to do it. Or go to your vet. When you get your heartworm medication, your monthly heartworm shit, say, what do you recommend for fleas? And get them on something where the dog isn't going to have fleas on them even for a second. Man, I'm telling you, a flea can jump on a dog, one flea, and just like, they get welts like that. You're in Florida, man. You can't do it with spray, that pyrethrin spray. You need either an oral medication or a topical medication, and your vet can steer you to what is best, okay? Well, that's because I'm working with each dog like a few minutes to make a point. You have one dog, you should be able to handle the barking, and the dog should be in a crate. You have one dog, make them sit. Don't feed them if they're making noise, Fuck them. They gotta wait. You try feeding them twice a day. That way they don't go into that mode. I gotta go get another dog. Let me go get Baby, and then I'll do the poodle. Now that poodle is on a pork-based diet. It wasn't totally expensive either. And the dog does pretty good on pet food. So, but I've got 3. You better tighten up the ship. 3's harder than 1. Okay? Do you feed them once or twice a day? Try twice a day. Make everybody sit and be calm. They should be in a crate, sitting. Teach your dog to sit in a crate, because if they won't sit in the crate, you got to teach them to do that first. And once they sit, then feed them. Okay? Now that you could say is food training. Only do it then. And only then, because it's feeding time. You feed them once. You could try your 3 dogs. Try and feed them, divvy up you got them on raw diet, then split it up so that they don't go into that state. Okay? Because, you know what I'm saying? That's good. That's good. But try feeding them twice, and maybe they won't go into that barking state, like bratty barking state. Try that. Give that a shot. Let me go get another dog. I gotta go look at something over here, and then I'll go get another dog, okay? Oh, what? There's 93 people on this? Get out of here. Maybe I gotta stay and answer some questions. All right? Don't ask any questions about Destiny. It's none of your business what shampoo she uses, but her hair is lovely. It is. Shiny. It's very shiny. Yeah, that was pretty, 93, that's pretty high for a dog training live stream, right? Speaking of that, I was talking about this earlier. There's this dude called, what is it? Vlogger, Mr. Vlogger. He's been on YouTube since 2005. He only has 4,000 subs. He makes these weird-ass puppets. Weird-ass puppets. He does live streams. He's got a lot of attitude. He's like me in that, like, if he feels like somebody's a troll, he'll just get rid of people, you know? How do I get my dogs not to eat as much grass? You correct them. They shouldn't be eating grass because they're not an herbivore. Yeah, Mr. Vlogger. If they eat grass, they're going to either throw it up or they're going to poop it out. So that's proof right there that it is an obligated carnivore. The only reason why they say you hear that term, that's pet food companies, so that they have an excuse to give them a lot of filler, which your dog doesn't need. Like a potato? Come on. Why would your dog be eating a potato? See what I'm saying? It wouldn't. You better remove that. Don't be typing in all caps here. You better remove that. I would remove that real quick. Nobody screams on this channel. It's rude. It's rude. And no, you're not supposed to let them sniff the ground when they're at heel. That's why you use the hurry, hurry command. You release them with the hurry, hurry command, and then they can sniff. But you don't let them drag you either. You stay in one position and let them go back and forth and sniff. If they don't go to the bathroom, it's back to heel. Back to heel. All right? So let me go get one more dog. Okay, let me get the pit. Let me get another pit. Hang on. Hey, Billy. Ow, my leg. Standing like that. Ah. Come on, Bill. Where did I put that? Oh, I got it. Here. No, don't do it. No. Ah. No. Here. coming? I got baby with me. Then I go get Merlin. Merlin the magician. Yeah, my zipper's open. Yeah, so the title of this is 5-minute dog training, and I'm truthful in saying if your dog is trained and trained properly, you can work the dog for a few minutes, and in the morning and in the evening, and you're getting something positive from the dog. But if your dog isn't trained, you can't. Like this what we're about to do with this dog, this baby, a pit bull. She's doing a board and train. The owner could do this in the house. You don't need a large area to do this, but you need to do it. You need to train your dog. Like, you can train your dog by every time you hit the door, you should be reminded that the dog needs to sit and be calm. Did you see the way she just got up on this? She knows we're gonna play. And that's what I do. I train the dog to play. I don't use food for positive reinforcement. We use play and praise. There's no reason to be using food. You condition your dog to be excited, and you look like a resource for snacks. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Remember, dog training is a lot of muscle memory. So she's picking this up real good. Baby, here. Baby, kennel. Baby, here. Get up there. Baby, kennel. Good. Here. Come on, baby, here. Good girl. Baby, kennel. Good girl. Baby, here. Good girl. Baby, kennel. Good girl. Baby, here. Right there, baby. Baby, kennel. So this dog's getting exercise too. Baby. Baby, kennel. Sit. Down. Here. Good girl. Kennel. Notice how she prances like a horse. Sit. No, sit. Down. Baby, here. Good girl. Baby, kennel. Baby, here. Come on, here. Okay, hurry, hurry. Go putt. No. Baby, you could go. Hurry, hurry. So I'm releasing her with a potty command. That means that she can go around and sniff. So what did I work her for? Like a minute or something? But see, I use discipline. But you see the way that she's running? That is proper for your dog. Running with your dog is not a proper way to exercise your dog. If you notice, everybody that runs with their dog, the dog's lagging behind. That is because your dog is a sprinter. It's a sprinter. It's not a long distance runner, okay? If people that run with their dog, it's cruel. I'm just telling you. If you're doing it and it's sunny out and 70, it's real mean. They don't sweat. Man, you're being mean to your dog, so don't run with your dog. Think of it this way. You see a wolf, and you see a wolf going after prey. At the most, it's going to take 5 minutes. If the wolf does not get the dog in 5 minutes, they stop. They stop running. So usually they're going to get it within, a minute, 50 seconds or something. That's just a fact. They do like a sprint. Now, with that said, they can also walk at a real fast pace. So they could sort of, they're made to go up a hill faster than a human. Going over rocks and shit like that. They can, they can do it better than us. But you take, the New York City Marathon, that would kill any dog. A dog could not keep up doing that. You want to talk about sled dogs? That's 28 degrees, okay? And they're not always doing this full gallop thing. They're doing their quick walk. So when a dog goes after prey, it's hauling ass. When a dog's mushing, it's going for distance. It's a real quick walk. It's quicker than a human can do it, and it's in snow, which we don't function like that in snow. The dog does. They function great in 28-degree weather. This pit bull, this real short coat, she's not cold out here. Like my perfect example would be my GSP, my German Shorthair. The dog, yeah, it's a trot. It's a trot. It's not like a full-on, I'm hauling ass to kill something. That's what they're good at, and they're good at this in 28-degree weather. You can work a dog doing sled work with wheels on it, you know, in a warmer climate, but you have to be conscious of, you know, where's the sun at? What's the temperature? That's exactly it. There's nothing worse than the weekend athlete taking the dog out and running with the damn dog and expecting the dog to keep up to its human speed. The sun's beating down on the dog. Let me tell you something about us. We started out as persistence hunters. That's what we did. And what we did was we would force animals into the hot sun. We can carry water, okay, and we sweat, so we don't let the animal rest. Forcing them out in the hot sun, they get delirious, and then they surround them and just spear them. That's the way it was done. Don't let the animal rest, just keep doing it. Just keep going after them. They don't get the rest, they don't get any water, and we can take water with us. We can put water in a bladder. That's how we did it at first. A dog doesn't have that option. A dog functions like other animals. We're unique in that way, and every animal on this planet is unique. It is. But I'm telling you flat out, the dog, the canine, is not a morphed little human being. It isn't. And when you look at the dog like that, you're making a huge mistake. Let me work her again. Hey, baby. Here, baby. Here. Up here, baby. Kennel? Kennel? Good. Kennel? Kennel? Here. Good. Kennel. Hauling ass. Baby, here. Good. Kennel. Kennel? Kennel! Hey! Kennel? Kennel! Kennel? Kennel! Sit. Down. Sit. Kennel. Kennel. Sit. Kennel. Kennel. Sit. No, sit. One other thing about dogs, they don't understand language, they understand tone. So I'm saying kennel here, I could also say here. Here. Cheese. Cheese. Kennel. Cheese. Cheese. Sit. Genki gone. Genki gone. Here. Here. No, kennel. Ah! Kennel. Playful dog. Sit. No, sit. Now, this is a dog that doesn't have a lot of training, but it has some training. And you see the way I was not even using the command words? Because your dog, it doesn't have language. It's tone. I try to explain this to people, and if I bring Tonka out, I could just say whatever I want. There's dogs like this that I could just say whatever I want. It should be like that too. The longer I work with her, the more she's going to function in that realm of just like, I could say, you know, I could go like this. Moon, moon. Planet. Sit. I'm not even using a word. It's body language, it's tone. It's the tone in which I'm sending to her. Don't be confused that your dog understands its name. Dogs don't need birthday parties, and people that do that, that they like, you know, like I'm gonna have a birthday party for my dog. Their dogs are always a mess. Yes, I use hand signals. Come on. I use everything, man. I use whistles. That's what that was. I train a dog casting so that if I want him to go right or left or back right, back left, that's casting. All dogs that come here learn casting. Let me go get another dog. Let me go get the poodle. He's awesome. His name's Merlin. He had separation anxiety, and it's in remission now, so he's doing real good. So that's Baby. She's doing a board and train. She's doing real good too. Aren't you, Baby? Baby, heel. Now, so I go inside, and all the dogs, you know, I've worked with them for a few minutes, and they're all chill. They're all decompressing. And that's important to know, that after you train the dog, it needs to decompress. So they've already worked. They're all just sort of chilling. There's no problems. All you need to do is train your dog. If it's trained, that's these dogs. You know, they've all done my dogs and the board and train dogs, they all can do certain things. They can do hold, drop, retrieve. They know the basic commands: sit down, whoa, here, heel, kennel. And they're all taught as implied stays. You never say the word stay. It's built into the command. So if your dog can do all these things and you're using common sense, like you're going out the door, and every time you come to a door, you make the dog sit, that's training your dog. You have the opportunity to train your dog every time you hit a door. Sit, down, whatever you want to do. Just make sure it's not running through the door. Why? Because if it runs through the door is a point of positive reinforcement. So you're conditioning the dog to be excited, and you're headed outside. So is your dog an asshole on the street and you can't get it to heel? Lack of training, improper training, or no training at all. It's just that's one of the things. You make the dog sit and be calm. So once the dog starts doing it, the owner can't get it to stop. You know, it doesn't have to be this way with dogs, you know, in our society, but it is, man. 4 to 6 million dogs are being put down in shelters every year. And this statistic sucks, and I said it earlier. 49% of all puppies that are acquired the first year are given up. They're surrendered the first year. That's almost half. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. There's this people, I want you want to have a dog, and then they just get oh, it's cute, I gotta have the dog. If I'm contacted by another person with a Shiba that they got him, but they, it's not such, no dog is easy to train, but some are more resistant than others, but they got the Shiba thinking, oh yeah, it's adorable. That's why I'm getting it. It's adorable. That was your reason for getting it a dog, because it's cute? Yeah, they're cute. They're all cute. But that's not good enough. And if you get the dog, you better get on board with training. And if you can't get the training done, you find somebody that can get the training done that does train with food. Because if you're training your dog with food, you're just conditioning the dog to be excited, making you look like a resource for snacks or whatever. It's a mess. It's a mess. Don't go to Petco. Don't use one of these positive reinforcement trainers. And I'll tell you something, the dog whisperers, not much better. Heel is on your left-hand side, okay? It's not circling around you. That's a fact. You see somebody online or whatever, and they have a bunch of dogs. Dog walkers in New York City do that too, so it's not so amazing. I was doing it the other day with two dogs, both heeling on the left-hand side. I've done it with 5 dogs. They all heel on the left-hand side. I could do it theoretically with 10 dogs, but what is the point? At no time am I working with 10 dogs. But the point is they could all do it. They can all do it. It's not, heel is not in the vicinity of you. It's on your left-hand side, and the dog should be staying with your leg and keeping an eye on your leg. Okay? So, hang on. I started training dogs with my father when I was about 5. So I have an advantage that other people don't have. Here. Now, this is Merlin, and Merlin had separation anxiety. He has separation anxiety, but it's in remission. So when he first got here, the problem was, they have a kid, like an 11-month-old kid in Merlin. When they got Merlin, either she was pregnant or she already had the baby, but Merlin's making noise. You gotta deal with the baby. So they let him out of the crate. Also, there was peripheral people dealing with Merlin that gave him the separation anxiety, which that's where we think it came from. But the point is, if your dog's out of a crate, the chances of him getting separation anxiety are really huge. So you want to use a crate. You never want to say goodbye or hello to the dog. And once they're there, it's like, how does the owner get the dog to stop having separation anxiety? That's the problem. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. So he had to start going in the crate right away. And I had a rough couple first days because we put him in the crate. He was up all night. They'll bark incessantly at night. They'll pee, they'll defecate in the crate. He peed in the crate and barked. He didn't defecate. He might have though, because we had some poop problems with him on his butt. So he might have pooped and sat in it. So anyway, but he's much better. Like, I'll go in there now, and like I went in there, like, he'll be laying on his side sleeping and just look up at me and not get up. That's what you want to see. You want your dog to like the crate, because that's how normal dogs are. They don't give a shit. Oh, I'm sleeping, I'm not getting up. So he's much better. The separation anxiety is much better. One thing that I would say about separation anxiety, if you can't get that dog to shut up, it's not going to go away. So a lot of what I do with the separation anxiety dog is like looking at it on a blink camera, running in, correcting it, going to go in the down position, teaching it to go in the down position. You must relax, dog. I compel you to relax. It's compulsion. You have to do this. You have to relax. So it's difficult for people. And the description that most people describe is like, I'm being held hostage by the dog. You can't go anywhere, because if you go anywhere, the dog goes ape shit in your house. You can't put it in a crate, goes ape shit in the crate. So it's important that he learned to stay in the crate. Now we're teaching him the crate as a game. So he's gonna do this exercise too. So same thing that we've been doing with all the dogs. Merlin, kennel. Sit. No, sit. See how he trots in there real fast? That's what we want to see. We don't want him meandering in there. We want him knowing that this is a fun activity. And by the time he's leaving, I guarantee you he'll be doing the kennel command 1,000 feet away, whatever. So if your dog knows how to do this, you can work your dog inside. You could be downstairs and send the dog to the kennel. If you want to, you can watch it on a blink camera and know that it's in the crate, and then call it back to heel. Dog should heel inside. If you're sitting in a chair, it's on the left-hand side. Always heel. Merlin, here. Good boy. Kennel. Good. Here. No, here. Come on, buddy. Hurry up. Get up there. Merlin, kennel. Good boy. Merlin, here. Come on, buddy, here. A little bit quicker, dude. Yes. Merlin, kennel. Yes. Merlin, here. Come on, buddy, here. Merlin, heel. Good. Merlin, kennel. No, kennel. Good boy. Merlin, here, heel. Come on, buddy. Come on, hurry up. Let's go. Come on, dude. Heel. There you go. Merlin, kennel. Good boy. Merlin, heel. Come on, buddy. No, get up here, dude. Hurry up. Oh, this will help. Hang on. Okay, Merlin, kennel. Merlin, here. Come on, buddy. Heel. Come on. Let's go. There you go. Merlin, kennel. Good. Merlin, here. Come on, heel. Let's go. Whole ass, dude. There you go. Merlin, kennel. No, kennel. Get in there, dude. Go. Kennel. No, kennel. Let him sit in there. Sit down. He will love this when we're done. So he hasn't been here that long. It's a great dog. Any questions? Thank you, Christopher. Can you please demonstrate the leash holding technique and how to deliver proper collection when heel training? Yeah, sure, let me go get a leash. Merlin, come with me. Here. Come on, buddy. I should have had one with me, but I didn't. Merlin, here. Oh, we left the door open. Hang on. Coming. Come on, buddy. Get a heel. No, heel. No, heel. Good. Merlin, up. Budzo, come here. Heel. So, dog should be on the left-hand side, right? Now he has a buckle collar on. When he first got here, he had a big fat wide collar on. It was too wide, so there was no action in it. It's real wide. Now you want to use a wide collar with a puppy, meaning you want to use a collar for an adult dog. But this here, this is never for your wrist. This is not for your wrist. This is a thumb hole. You put your thumb in it. You want to teach your dog to heel. The first way you're going to do it is you're going to be doing it like this, okay? Now you have it here. You bring your hand down to about your waist, right? And then you see what I'm doing here? I'm laying it over the top, right? Then I bring this, I put this there, and see how this is here. Come here, heel. See how it is right now? See how neat and tidy it is? Right? Here, this is actually a little bit too much. So say you want to teach your dog to heel. When the dog is going forward, correction, so that's how it would be. About this, right? You want it short, about your hip. So you walk, here, back up. Here, heel. So you're walking, and if the dog's ahead of you, see, if you're like this, the dog gets nothing. So they learn not to lunge. So with a dog that's just learning this, I pretty much always hold the leash like this. And I'm teaching it heel, and it's going forward. Here, I'm down low, and it's backwards, okay? Back along the spine. Come here, heel. If the dog is out to the side, you bring it in. You go in the direction you want the dog to go. All right? And if it's lagging behind, same thing, but it's to the front like that. No heel. You say no heel, right? You say heel, and then if the dog isn't heeling, it's no heel. Don't say heel. But you got to hold it like this. Now, say the dog is e-collar conditioned. We do it a little different. Here, heel. But once again, this is for your thumb. This is never for your wrist. Anybody that does this is an idiot, okay? Look at your leash. Are there knots in your leash? You're having issues every time I've seen this. That's an indication you don't know what you're doing. You're holding the leash wrong and you're trying to, power the dog. You got to finesse the dog. So if you have knots in your leash, you have serious issues with that dog. A dog is dragging you around and you're trying to hold on. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt and you look like an idiot. So say you have an e-collar, and what you want to do is, after you, by the way, you're not going to use an e-collar until the dog knows, the commands. E-collar is for conditioning. So same thing, you're going to use, this is for your thumb, right? You come down to about your waist, right? And then you lay the top on that, and then you bring this up like this. Here, heel. So, no, here, heel. So, if you need to give a correction with the leash, and you're going to have to get the hang of it, and with each dog, it's like, this is a very tall dog. So the point is like if I have this much, I got to go up here till I can connect with him. That's not good. So I got to choke up on it. I got to make it lower, so that if I do need to give a correction, I can do a correction without going real far. It's just like this, but like I'll show this to people and they'll be like this, and then they're going way up here. No good, man. You got 1.3 seconds to give a positive or negative reinforcement. To give a correction, you have to give the correction quickly. So you want it down low, and you just want this. It's a quick snap like that. So make sure when you do it. So when I'm walking, say I'm walking with the dog's e-collar condition, right? No, here, heel. If you notice, it's loose. I don't have a lot of leash, but it's loose. So I'm walking, but it's loose. It's not like this, man. I had a client recently. Every time I saw the guy had a leash, it was like this. He's walking around like this, toe barring the damn dog, right? Here, heel. What happens when you do that is it drives the dog forward. I'd say drop your arm like this. You know, like, come on, how many times do I got to say it? So you're walking like this. See how it's loose? But to make a connection with the collar, I'm moving it a few inches. So you're walking with the dog. You have it locked, right? Your arm should be dangling. Should be dangling like this. This is if your dog is responsive. And the reason why it's like this, because it's e-collar conditioned. Maybe if your dog knows heel or something, you don't have an e-collar on it, you could use this method. But this method is for the dog that doesn't understand heel yet, and you're teaching it heel. And the reason why we do this, like this, I'm walking like this. I'll walk with the dog like this. And then it's back like that. Now the reason why we do it like this, once again, is because if the dog lunges, I'm centered. It gets nothing. It's hitting a brick wall. It can't go anywhere, and it knows it. And when I start training the dog, man, it starts figuring out that if I'm down like this, it can't go anywhere. If you're like this and the dog isn't trained, it's going to pull you. It's going to get something. You don't want the dog to get anything. So you're centered like this. We don't switch into this until the dog is functioning and functions off leash. And like say I'm going in Home Depot or something. I'll have it like this, very short leash. So this is after the dog's functioning real good. But when a dog first comes here and it's a freaking mess, right? Has a history of being a dick, I'll be like this, and I want it to heal. So I'm going outside, it's not a heel, bam, come up with me. And dogs will try and control the situation by either lagging behind or going forward or out to the side. Once again, if it's forward, you're gonna go back like this along the spine. If the dog's lagging behind, it's up like this in the direction of the spine. Side to the side, it's like this. And if it's cutting in too close, it's like that. Right? Once again, for this, you put your thumb in here. It's never for your wrist. Right? This is a thumb hole, not a wrist hole. Right? I'm taking this. I'm down around where my waist is. I'm putting this on top of the thumb part. And then I'm bringing this section up like this. So it's all tidy like that. This is another thing, man. Guy was doing this. Same dude that like tow bars the dog is doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like this. You don't get it? See how my hand is covering the whole thing? This right here, leash technique, is one of the hardest things for some people to learn. All people, man, after the dog is trained and I'm doing the lessons, I swear to God, man, it takes like 3 sessions. We do 2 sessions and people are still not picking it up. It's amazing. I worked with a basketball player in New York City that, man, this guy is an athlete. He couldn't pick it up. That was like the 4th, 5th session. He's finally, oh, now I get it. Yeah, you get it now? Some people pick it up real quick. Destiny, real quick. She gets it. But if you're holding the leash wrong, you're going to have issues. That's just the truth. If you hold the leash wrong, you're going to have issues. If you have knots in your leash, if you are not using this is a 6-foot leather training lead. If you're not using one of these, once again, you're gonna have issues. If you're using a nylon leash, that's crap, man. It doesn't have the proper weight, okay? It doesn't have the proper action. You think I'm being nitpicky? I'm not. Everybody goes home when there's a board and train. This is one of the tools that the owner is going home with the dog, because if they don't have this, they're gonna have issues. They're gonna have issues. They need a 6-foot training lead. That's what everybody should be using for general purposes. It's just a fact. Well, I get mine from Bridgeport Equipment. It costs you about $12. Now, if you're a vegan and you don't want to use leather, you can use a biothane leash. It's like simulated leather. So you could use those, and those you can use because they're you can't find great quality leashes. Well, you can at Bridgeport Equipment. You have to go to like dog training supply places. You don't get leashes on Amazon. How many times have I seen somebody show up with this leather leash that like it's real thin and it doesn't have the proper action. It's not this. And I'm like, that leash sucks. But that was actually somebody that I'm talking about that really isn't getting it. I remember one time he's going, that leash sucks. Didn't have anything to do with the leash sucking, okay? How do I stop my guy from chewing on his leash? Well, how old is the dog? But that's giving it a proper correction. One, listen, if your dog is chewing on a leash, you're screwing up, because each time the dog grabs the leash, it only has this much to go. How's it gonna grab the leash? You're not holding the leash proper, and if it did, I'd give it a real strong correction. Get that out of your fucking mouth. You know, I mean, puppies don't chew on leashes here because I hold the leash right. Are you using a leather leash? Are you training your dog? Does your dog have training to the point where the dog understands no? If no's not conditioned in, your dog's going to be a freaking mess, man. So that's something that dogs learn here, is that no is what we use to tell the dog that it's in improper position, right? Or it's doing something wrong. So if you don't condition this in, and you're just like, well, I just keep saying no to the dog, one, that's an indication you probably haven't used enough pressure. And no, heel, over here. And please be assured that when the dog is compliant, pressure is lifted. That's with all dogs. So also another thing with training, ow, my hip. With training, you might start training a dog, like all dogs learn hold and drop here. And at times, when I'm teaching this, the dog doesn't look like it's like the body language isn't like, oh, it's having a great time. I never worry about it, because I always know by the time the dog is going home, it's totally into retrieving. You know, it's excited, but it's excited when it's supposed to be. So if you watch any of the retrieving videos, like with the dummy lunch and everything, the goal is to get the dog so it's real calm before it goes on the retrieve. Why? Because if you send the dog on the retrieve, if it's jumping around, you're just conditioning the dog to be excitement. And excitement is the point. All dogs make a mistake. They bark, lunge, bite, or just don't listen. So you'll see some of these dogs that have been doing this, man, they're totally calm. And then you send them on the retrieve and it's a burst of energy. Does that make sense? This is a huge problem with dogs, man. I can amp up any dog, you know, thanks. I can amp up any dog, you know, any dog can get excited. It's a huge problem that, like, the American public, they really see the dog as like, it loves them if it's like jumping around, wagging its tail, jumping on them. And the calm dog is a happy dog. So it could be happy and excited, but it's still excited. And once again, that's when they all make a mistake. So your dog functions like this. It functions instinctually and with trained commands. And that's what you want the dog to do, is you want the dog to function with trained commands, because all the instinctual stuff stinks. That's what goes wrong with your dog. All dogs should have trained commands, but we have this like dog whisper shit and this stuff that's being fed to the American public. You know, yeah, I know he says he's not a dog trainer. You betcha he's not a dog trainer. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. And the other thing is, like, people take their dog to the dog run. It's absurd. It's absurd. And they think that they're doing something for the dog. So they're at an hour at the dog run, but they could have spent 10 minutes training the dog, and the dog, you take it in and it's going to decompress in the crate, and 10 minutes in the afternoon or something, they're done. Or the nonsense of like, oh, I'm going to walk my dog for 45 minutes. Really? You're going to walk? You have time to do that in the morning and the evening? That's nonsense. Take your dog out and train it for 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. That way you work with, discipline. You're training the dog and you're getting trained commands with the dog. That makes sense. Walking the dog, I'm going to walk the dog, or taking the dog to the dog run. You're not really helping the situation. He plays with it at home. I forget to put it up when it's done for Big Shepherd mix. What? He plays with what at home? How do I stop the guy from chewing on a leash? Oh, well, you just described that you're a bad dog owner then, Tim. I don't know what to tell you. He plays with it at home. I forget to put it up. It's done with. Why are you doing that, man? You're training your dog to be a jerk? And hang on. Why are you doing that? Why don't you just it's like a dog chewing on your shoe. And then you're pissed off at the dog for chewing on your shoe. Well, you're the person that left the dog out of a crate and unattended, and you left your shoe on the floor. So don't get mad at the dog. You're never going to get that dog to stop chewing on a leash, okay? You're never going to get the dog to stop chewing on a leash because you can't remember to put the leash up. And obviously you won't crate the dog. You're leaving the dog unattended. That's not good. How do you potty train a dog? It's simple. You take it outside. Okay, so if it's a puppy, you keep taking it outside in your backyard. Don't take it to parks or anything. It doesn't have all its shots. Take it right out the door, and you lose a lot of sleep. That's how you potty train a dog. You do not use wee-wee pads under any circumstances. And the reason why you don't use wee-wee pads is that they're scented with a pheromone that smells like shit and piss to your dog. All right? Does that make sense? You're bringing something in your house that smells like shit and piss. You're telling the dog to go to the bathroom in your house. So that is not the way that you housebreak your dog. To potty train your dog, when they're here, I use a crate. And I can have a dog by 13 weeks understand that it needs to go outside to go to the bathroom. So at first, it might be real young. It might be 8 weeks. I might be grabbing the dog out of the crate. It's held it. And I know that if I'm holding it, it's not going to go to the bathroom, and I'm running it outside real quick. And then as soon as I get it to go to the bathroom outside, I throw a party. Yay! Good boy, good girl, whatever it is. That's how you get the dog housebroken. It's by losing sleep. That's why people send puppies here, because I deal with the puppies, I get them housebroken. It makes it much easier than the owner waking up at 2, and then 4, and then once again at 7. Where are your dogs when they aren't training them? Oh, my battery's dying. If you cannot watch the dogs, okay? If you cannot watch the dogs, I have a room for the dogs, and yes, I have crates. They're sleeping. Everybody is sleeping, okay? Because I worked everybody. So they're resting until I go get them again. And that's what everybody should be doing. You should be working with your dog. Work with your dog. You have one dog, you have no excuses. Do you know how many dogs are in there? If you just have chaos in your house, right? No good. No good. I rescued him in August. The only thing he's not supposed to do, really only bad thing he does. Which is what? Chew on the leash? August, September, October, November, December. So you've had him for 4 months? Well, still, you're still not using a crate, so you're knocking on the door of separation anxiety. It's the only thing bad he does. You've had him for 3 or 4 months. Get ready. He chews on a leash, Tim. You think he's not going to chew on a leather shoe? And then what are you going to do? It's your fault. Don't hit the dog with the shoe. Hit yourself. Why are you not using a crate? Like, the dog could be out if you're watching him, but, like, you know, if you're going to go take a shower or something and you can't watch him, why not just put him in a crate instead of, like, letting the dog get separation anxiety? Or start chewing on your couch. If he chews on a leash, he's going to chew on something else, man. I'm just telling you the truth. You think he won't chew on a leather shoe? What about a belt? A belt looks just like a leash. Well, wait a minute. You're probably not even using a leather leash, are you, Tim? So anything nylon, he's going to chew on. Or rope, he's going to chew on your couch. It just hasn't happened yet. He's chewing on stuff. How old is the dog, Tim? I'm just telling you the truth. You know, dogs don't fight and then they do. It's the same thing like dogs don't chew on your couch and then they do. So we use the crate to avoid these problems. If you're going on a ride and you have your dog, you have it in a crate. Okay? That's what dog trainers do. Mimic the dog trainers, but just don't mimic anybody that's a food trainer because that's not going to be helpful to your dog. But you see what I'm saying, Tim? Like you don't have an eye on the dog. If you don't have an eye on the dog, put it in the crate. I mean, there's a good chance you're gonna give your dog separation anxiety if you're not using a crate. Where are you gonna put if you keep forgetting to put the leash up, I mean, your dog will start chewing on something else. There's a lot of green on the table, Tim. Dog's, I assume, not real, it's young, it's still chewing and shit. So, crate. That's what you have to do. If you're not watching the dog. I'm sure that there's some place. Look up UK protection dog training or hunting dog supply, something like that. So if he's good 90% of the time, I should say, yes! Tim? 90% of the time. Yeah, well, that'll end up being 80% of the time. You're training your dog to be a dick, right? He's retired. He's 23 years old and blind. It's Mango. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, you keep crating the dog, Tim. What are you, nuts? What do you care? What do you care if the dog is on a dog bed or and dog beds aren't so good. Dogs will chew those things up. He's on your floor or he's laying on the floor of a crate. Like, is that you getting this human thing? Like, oh, it's jail. It's jail for a dog. We had somebody here saying that, oh, I'd never lock my dog in a crate. Well, you're an idiot, you know. So if the dog's crate trained, you need to use the crate more because that 10% will end up being other things. You know, he's chewing on a leash. You don't think he's going to chew on anything else? He will. He will. That's how it goes, man. Just telling you the truth. It's just the facts. I gotta go. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll see y'all. Tim, use the crate. You can't watch the dog. I leave the crate outdoor so it's his safe place. He sleeps in there by himself. Close the door, Tim. Close the door. If he goes in there with the crate open, why not close the door so he can't get out and chew on the leash? Okay? Doesn't that make sense? What's it matter? Close the damn door. Make sure the crate is big enough that the dog can stand up and turn around, right? Close the door when you can't watch him because he's chewing on shit. He's chewing on shit, Tim. Okay? Close the door. All right? Feed the dog in the crate too. And you don't have to have toys in that. Toys on the floor and in the crate causes guarding behaviors. Does. If it's an older dog, it doesn't need. Don't use bark box, by the way. Those plushy toys, yeah, they're cute. Dog will chew those things up. You're just teaching the dog to chew up cloth. You'll end up taking your dog to like the emergency room. It's the truth. Bark box is not such a good thing. Dog doesn't need plushy toys. If it's a puppy, use like a deer antler, something like that. All right? Don't use plushy toys or bully sticks. You don't want to screw up housebreaking. Your dog should be on a raw diet. I'll see y'all. Bye.